Once upon a time there lived a wise man in Kunav Kingdom, where ancient myths whispered through the windswept sands, lived Adzak, a wise man whose name was synonymous with truth. Like the desert nomad guiding travelers by the stars, Adzak navigated life by the unwavering compass of honesty. His words, as pure as the desert rain, bore the weight of absolute truth, a gift that resonated throughout the land, even reaching the ears of those dwelling 20 days away. The king, a man who wielded power like a double-edged sword, became captivated by the legend of Adzak's unwavering truthfulness. Intrigued by the possibility of such a man, he summoned Adzak to his opulent palace. As Adzak stood before the king, his eyes, deep as the desert wells, reflected a calm certainty that intrigued the ruler. "Adzak," the king began, his voice a low rumble that echoed through the grand hall, "is it true what they say? Have you never uttered a single lie?" Adzak's voice, as steady as the desert breeze, resonated with unwavering conviction. "Your Majesty," he replied, "it is true." A flicker of doubt crossed the king's face. Could such a thing be possible? A man who spoke only truth, untouched by the shadows of deceit. To test the limits of Adzak's honesty, the king devised a cunning plan to get him to lie. Days later, as the sun cast its golden rays upon the land, the king prepared for a royal hunt. With a retinue of guards and nobles in tow, he stood before Adzak, his hand resting on the mane of his magnificent steed. One foot already secured in the stirrup, he issued his command. "Adzak," he declared, his voice ringing out across the courtyard, "go to my palace and inform the queen I will join her for lunch. Tell her to prepare a grand feast. You, too, shall partake in the royal fare alongside me." A sly smile played on the king's lips as Adzak bowed and departed. Now, he chuckled to his advisors, we shall witness if this so-called truthful man can resist the allure of a good lie. We shall see if he can spin a tale to appease the queen, knowing full well I have no intention of joining her. But Adzak, whose words were as pure as the desert rain, arrived at the queen's palace with a message far different from the king's intent. He stood before the queen, his demeanor respectful yet firm. "Your Majesty," he began, his voice carrying a mysterious weight, "a grand feast may be prepared for tomorrow's lunch, or it may not. It may be that the king will join you by noon, or it may be that he will not." The queen, surprised by the cryptic message, pressed for clarity. "Tell me, Adzak," she said, her voice laced with curiosity, "will the king come or not?" A knowing smile played on Adzak's lips. "Your Majesty," he replied, "I cannot say with certainty. For when I left the king, his right foot remained upon the stirrup, but I cannot say whether it was his right foot he placed upon the ground after I departed." His words hung heavy in the air, leaving the queen and her courtiers bewildered. A sense of anticipation filled the palace. Would the king arrive for the feast, or was Adzak's message a mere riddle? The following day, tension gripped the palace as everyone awaited the king's arrival. Finally, as the sun reached its peak, a familiar figure appeared on horseback. It was the king. His eyes narrowed as he addressed the queen. "The wise Adzak, who supposedly never lies, deceived you yesterday," he declared with a smug grin. But before the king could revel in his perceived triumph, the queen spoke. In a calm, yet firm voice, she recounted the exact words spoken by Adzak the previous day. "A grand feast may be prepared for tomorrow's lunch, or it may not. It may be that you will join me by noon, or it may be that you will not." He looked at Adzak, his eyes filled with a newfound respect. In that moment, the king understood. Adzak's honesty transcended mere words. It was a testament to the power of truth, a power that saw beyond the veil of deception. Adzak had not lied. He had simply spoken the truth, a truth that remained veiled until the king's own actions revealed its meaning. From that day onwards, Adzak's wisdom and unwavering truthfulness became legend. He served as a constant reminder that even in the heart of deception, the truth, like the desert sun, always shines through. And the king, forever humbled by Adzak's unwavering honesty, ruled with a newfound respect for the power of truth, a legacy that echoed through the ages, reminding all who heard it of the man who spoke only the truth, Adzak, the wise man of the Kunav kingdom.